Are you spending too much time with email and falling behind on your work? If so, it's probably because of one common problem that keeps our emails messy. Stay with me because I'm going to show you what it is and how to fix it with my simple email system for 2026. Hello everyone, Scott Friesen here at Simpletivity, helping you to simplify your tools and take back control. And you've probably tried a number of different methods to keep your inbox in check and make things easier when it comes to dealing with all of your email messages. You've probably tried to apply a number of different filters or rules, and that's not always such a bad thing. In fact, that can be a great approach to have things bypass or skip your inbox altogether. But the number one issue that I see that frustrates people more and more often, and they may not even realize it, is the number of folders or the number of labels that you are using. Whether you're using Outlook, Apple Mail, or Gmail, as in my example here today, people are often using far too many folders or labels than what they need. Now, this isn't even that much of an outrageous example here. I think I only have about 8 or 9 labels in total, but I've worked with many professionals who are using in excess of 100 labels, and they're wasting so much time dragging each and every message into the correct folder or applying the correct label. Well, there is a much simpler way. So simple and easy to use, but also effective that I'm applying it for the coming year. I've been experimenting with it for some time, but it's something that is not only working for me, but it's working for thousands of my clients as well. Here it is, 3 labels, the only 3 labels that you need. Today, this week, and waiting. Again, regardless of what email client or email tool that you use, it is easier than ever to search exactly what you're looking for, whether it's by a keyword or a name. It is so easy to filter out the information that you need. Long gone are the days where you need to categorize all of your client emails together. Now with the addition of AI, it's that much easier to find what you're looking for. But what we need is an approach to stay active. We need an approach that makes it easier for us to get through a large batch of new messages, not get confused as to what we have read already, and to not waste time rereading the same message again and again and again, but also a way for us to identify what should I be doing right now? What should I be doing next? So let's walk through each and every one of these labels one by one. And if you're using another client such as Outlook, these can be your folders. They don't have to necessarily just be labels. You can see that the first one is labeled today with a number 1. I have them numbered for a reason. Now, the reason why I've added a number in front of each of these is that most of our systems, including Gmail, is going to order our labels by alphanumeric order, so that numbers are always going to come first before letters. So 1, 2, 3. I want to keep it in this order. Second of all, you can see that I've given them distinctive colors. Green for today, because green in most cases, for many of us, means go. It's actionable. It's something we should be doing right now. Yellow is sort of a pending. I don't have to do it today, but I should get it done this week. And then red is something that I actually can't do right now. This is for things that I am waiting for. Maybe I've sent the message and I'm waiting for a reply. So let's see how some of these things look and feel and why it's so effective in action. First of all, today. When I come into my inbox and I have a slew of brand new messages like you see here, I want to be able to quickly go through as many of them as possible. And if I see some junk or spam or some quick replies like yes or thanks, I can immediately archive those particular emails. So if I group just a few of these by example, that archive button is always going to be available to me here at the beginning. Some of them I may just want to delete outright. Some of them I may want to archive so I can search and reference later. But I can also do the same thing with my labels. So let's say I need to address this one, I need to address this one here, and this is the third time that John has emailed me. I really should give him a reply. Here, I can come up to my labels, apply today, and I instantly have those three labels applied. And best of all, they stand out from everything else. So even as I'm collecting or receiving new messages within my email inbox, I can easily see which emails need to be addressed today. But perhaps the added benefit of using labels is that I can quickly click on the Today label here on the left-hand side and only see those three messages. This would be my very next step. Yes, I may apply other labels such as the This Week label as well as I'm briefly scanning through or going through my messages. But when it comes time to actually replying, to actually addressing the messages that I need to, I can zero in on just this particular subset. Jumping back to my inbox, let's add maybe just a few more. This time, I might actually add the bulk of this list to my This Week label. Now, you can either group apply these labels as you see here, or don't forget, you can also drag them directly into your folder or drag them into that particular label. The added benefit here is that it actually removes it from your inbox. Now, this I feel comes down to personal preference. Some people like cleaning up their inbox by dragging things into a folder or a label. But remember, if I grab this one at the top and drag it into Today, for example, it's actually going to remove it from my inbox and just remain in my Today label. Depending on how you like to work, you may like that approach. Otherwise, you may like to keep some of those things and see those labels here within your inbox. So again, when it's time for me to lock down and accomplish the messages and reply to the messages that I need to today, I can click on that Today label and quickly reply to each of these, then remove that label. I can do the same thing with This Week. And of course, perhaps at the end of the week on a Friday morning or Friday afternoon, you can come in here and see if any of these need to be pushed to today. Some of them may not actually be relevant at that point in time. Isn't it wonderful after letting things sit for a bit that sometimes they just resolve themselves or are no longer relevant in the first place? But the big difference between today and this week, of course, is the time frame, but our third one, waiting, is a little different. So now that you understand the difference between the Today and This Week labels, which of course is simply a time frame, our third label works a little bit differently. Waiting is not for things that we're waiting to deal with sometime in the future. Waiting is typically reserved for messages where we have sent a reply and we are waiting for a response. So for example, I can come up here to my sent folder, and sometimes you may find yourself scanning through many of these messages. Have I heard back from so-and-so? Do I need to reach out again? With the waiting label, you no longer need to do that. We can simply click on that waiting label. Here are the three messages that I have replied to, and I'm waiting for some feedback. I can manage them all here. And once I've received that message or received that reply, I can simply remove that label and it will no longer show up here in this waiting folder. And then once I've gotten a reply or received the information that I need, I can simply remove that waiting label. So why does this system work? Well, the key word there is system. Unlike traditional labels and folders, those are simply just categories. You are simply dragging things into things that are similar, but in most cases are not actionable. But with our simple 3-label system, Today, This Week, and Waiting, we are naturally incorporating a type of workflow, a type of system, an approach to tackling all of our email messages that automatically gets us into thinking about how we are going to deal with our messages rather than simply push things around or categorize them into different groups. So if you're ready for a fresh start and a simpler way to manage your email, set up this simple 3-label or 3-folder email system for yourself. And if you're looking for even more ways to simplify your tools and take back control, watch one of these videos on the screen next. And if you'd like me to help you organize all of your tools into one simple system, join me at simpletivity.com to learn more. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, you deserve to work without feeling overwhelmed.